All right. So let's start with the peace chant. We'll do it. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Kadvavahai Tejasvinavadhitam Asti Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may the all-pervading spirit protect us. May the all-pervading spirit nourish us. May we work together with great energy. May our study be illuminating. May love and harmony dwell amongst us. Om, peace, peace, peace. So as we know, we are studying Katha Upanishad, and now comes we are in an interesting section where Katha Upanishad is comparing our whole being with a chariot. What a nice analogy to understand the abstract functioning of the mind, intellect, senses. Katha Upanishad brings a nice analogy of chariot. The idea is, although not spoken explicitly, it points to the fact that for a successful spiritual journey, we need a good vehicle. Our car, our chariot should be in good shape. Okay, good shape. So Upanishad said, it's definitely, it is not explicitly said here. First is the chariot itself, the body. Body has to be taken care of, right? The car needs to be, I am not the car, but it feels good to drive a good car, which is in good shape. So our physical health matters. In fact, if we remember other parts of many Upanishads, we find this prayer for a good health, good limbs, right? Why? Because in one of the Upanishads it says, Shariram Adyam Khalu Dharma Sadhana. That is, to do anything worthwhile called dharma or spiritual practices, you need a good body. You need a good physical body. It means you should be in good shape. So that is important. Then in previous day, we saw that Upanishad said that the chariot is controlled by the charioteer who holds the rein on the horses. The charioteer who is driving the chariot is compared to our intellect, right? And the rein with which to control the horses is compared to our mind. So how to keep them in good shape? It's okay to maintain the chariot, but also the engine's inner mechanics has to be in good shape. So vijñānavān bhavati, one whose intellect has good understanding. What it boils down to is having viveka, the right understanding about what is more important, what is essential, where should we go. Okay, it is like having a correct idea about what is our destination, where do we actually want to go. This is called viveka. Okay, it is not sharpening of the intellect. Yeah, we see a lot of people of so-called high IQ may end up being at the wrong place, right? At the wrong place. Not necessarily high IQ guarantees a good journey or a noble journey. Okay. Then about mind, it was said that vijñānavān, and the mind is amanaskaḥ. that is, which is alert, which is alert, um, alert in controlling our what we take as our input. Okay. Just as we are mindful about what we eat for our body, so also being mindful about what we let in through the senses. And this is more important than ever now because we have so many options to get inputs from the outside world that to choosing what to let in and what not to uh, matters a lot, matters a lot, especially in the social media and the environment that we are living now is the information, the news, constant, forwarding of messages, all of it. If we are not mindful about what we are letting in, then we'll lose control over our mind, control of our mind. So it is, we may say, mental hygiene, mental hygiene. As physical health is important, as intellectual health is important in the sense of viveka or discernment, so also is important that what we choose to let in. Okay. So these two were talked about in the previous two verses. That uh, those who have a vijñānavān, one who has viveka, a discerning mind, discerning intellect, and also a mind which is alert, they um, they succeed in the journey, right? Succeed in the journey. Today, the next two verses we study together, it touches upon another aspect of this chariot, and that is a very, I would say, gray area called mental purity. What is mental purity? The next two verses will say that one who does not have mental purity, and of course, who does not have right understanding and an alert mind, they come back again and again. And those who have right understanding, an alert mind, and also purity of mind, they reaches the highest point. Okay. All of these are so psychological. We shall take a look at them, And as frankly speaking, one of the quests in my spiritual life has always been to understand what is purity of mind. What is purity of mind? So today we shall have a in-depth discussion about it. I'd like to hear from you what you think about purity of mind, and then I will share about what I have so far arrived at about mental purity. And so this class we shall wholly dedicate on discussing or understanding the idea of what is mental purity and how we can achieve mental purity. Let's see. First, the verse, two verses. Okay, we shall study together. Cognate. These two verses are cognate. We'll see. Yatu avijñānavān bhavati amanaskaḥ sadā aśuciḥ na sa tat padam āpnoti saṃsāram ca adhigacchati. Yatu vijñānavān bhavati samanaskaḥ sadā śuciḥ sa tu tat padam āpnoti yasmāt jāyate. One who lacks understanding, whose mind is unsteady and unprepared, does not reach the supreme goal and continues in the cycle of wandering. but one who possesses understanding, whose mind is balanced and pure, reaches that supreme state from which there is no return to viva. Viva. So, what this verse is doing is, I know, adding one more layer. These two verses have kept the previous two conditions of vijñānavān and amanaskaḥ. That is, having a discerning mind, discerning intellect, and as well as an alert mind, and now adds the purity of it. Okay. So here is the thing. It may appear that what is this verse talking about? That no return, and those who have these qualities, they don't return. And those who don't have these qualities, they return again and again. Okay, what does it mean? That we shall see later on. Will become clear when we discuss the idea of purity, śuciḥ and aśuciḥ. Okay, śuciḥ and aśuciḥ. So before we start the discussion, please feel free to, share your ideas of what do you think of mental purity. This is something we all have heard. We have some idea about, we say, oh, she's such a pure person. So what really we understand or think about mental purity? Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul. Thanks for volunteering.
What? Thanks for
Thanks for
volunteering.
volunteering. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So like my initial thought is that it has to do with not being okay. So we all have thoughts that bother us.
Yes.
And then we also, like in our subjective natural state, even without any discipline, we are able to recognize thoughts that bother us versus thoughts that are conducive to our
Life.
uh, life and being capable of doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And so, even like without any kind of systematic spiritual practice, we can recognize like the clutter and the dirt in our own
Mm,
minds
mm,
and take steps to try to eliminate that or to clean out the clutter.
mm-hmm,
And so I think like with a positive spiritual practice, you can take that to the next level, you know.
mm,
Um, so I think that's what purity of mind has to do with, like not being cluttered with the types of thoughts or anxieties or worries or
mm-hmm,
whatever that
mm-hmm.
prevent us from accomplishing whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish.
Right. Thank you so
Um,
much.
and so in contrast, I think it's not so much of a moral statement. It's more of a
Yes.
practical statement.
Right, right. It is not about moral superiority. It's not about moral superiority. Right. Thank you so much. I like that, idea of clutter. The clutter. Clutter is what impurity is. Okay. Okay, Subhash, I see your raised hand. Go ahead. What do you think about it?
I think basically an unsteady, fickle mind, easily swayed by likes and dislikes. And of course, the
Mm,
six passions underlying, which constantly cause the mind to whirl about.
yes.
So that's why the meaning of the verse also numbers an unsteady mind, impure
Mhm,
mind. I think impurity refers to all the thoughts that just keep distracting us from the from the
mhm.
goal,
Yeah,
especially
not
when we are
only
trying to
distracting
meditate.
us, things which are not wholesome, right? Not
Yeah,
wholesome. Yeah,
right.
right.
Yeah.
Good. And it's a good, one good, what you said is very good that, six fetters, uh, mm, kama, krodha, lobha, matsarya, and what else?
Mada
Um,
moha.
Mother
Mada
and
moha.
moha. Yeah. Can you translate those English ones?
Yeah. Kama is lust. Krodha is anger.
Mm-hmm.
Lobha is greed. Mada is getting, like egoistic.
Okay.
The moha
Yes.
is delusion.
Yeah.
Damba is actually, hypocrisy. So, you're trying to portray something that you are not.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. These can be said that these are the clutters. These are the impurities of mind. Good. Good. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mukherjee. Go ahead.
Maharaj, I was thinking that the truthfulness and sincerity are the main thing of the mind. If I have desire, if I have anger, greed, jealousy, whatever the things are coming in my mind, I should be truthful that yes, it is coming. I should not say that no, I should not defend myself in that case. And then I should start discriminating that what should I take, what is shreya, what is prayer, and what is, if I have this, then how I can go out of it. And then only my mental purity can gradually, I can achieve that mental purity. If I am truthful to myself, that is the
Yes.
main thing I feel. And sincerity has to be there, so that even if I'm doing the japa mechanically, I should be truthful. Yes, I'm doing it mechanically. My
Thank
mind
you.
is not there. So the
Yeah.
purity depends on that also. I feel that.
Yes, being honest to our own.
Honest to our own self.
Good, good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Mahamaya.
I'm thinking that Paul suggested that there's all this junk in our mind, all this stuff that's in the way,
Yeah.
thoughts and other things. But I'm thinking how to get rid of it. One way to me is to constantly repeat the mantra. And just when it comes to mind, repeat it. And that's like, it's like starting to clear out the junk out of our mind, because those sounds and that mantra are cleaning the mind. Even if you're not doing all the right things you believe you should be doing, you're not meditating enough, you're not sitting enough, but every time you think of it, you repeat your mantra, and it just sweeps
It
away those
purifies your
things.
mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what you are saying is the junk of the mind is impurity, and doing our mantra properly or sincerely with absorption is the way of getting the junk out, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Anyone else would like to offer something? Oh, Preeti. Yes, Preeti.
Pranams Maharaj.
Yes.
So certain words come to mind when
Yeah.
I think of mental purity. I feel like from an ultimate standpoint, it would be a mind which is established in its true nature as such,
Mm.
and that would be like from the ultimate standpoint, I would understand it's completely clear. There is no, I would say, other identities attached to it, or it has no attachment to any other. But from a more practical point of view, in the sense of for somebody who's trying to reach some kind of purity, I would feel that the first thing that comes to mind is simplicity. It's free from crookedness. And that can come from like not having any particular desires related to the world, and very childlike, very clean kind of dealings, very straightforward in thinking and interacting. And really what comes finally is the life of Holy Mother, because she is kind of purity personified, where you feel pure in her. She makes you pure in her presence. So these are just some of the ideas that came in my mind.
Yeah. And Holy Mother's purity, can be, pinned down to one thing, that lack of desires,
Yeah.
lack of strong desires,
Yeah.
When we read Holy Mother's life and reminiscences about Holy Mother, this thing we see that She was contented in every situation. She did not have, high ambitions in life. And we shall touch all of these, and of course, he was contented with little things. He did not have strong desires about anything, And actually, she said to a little girl that the little girl was very attached to Holy Mother, but she was problematic to others. She to her family, she was a troublemaker. But when she used to come to Holy Mother, she used to love Holy Mother, behave properly. So Holy Mother was once going from Calcutta to her village, Jairambati. So she would be absent for a few days. And this little girl came to meet Holy Mother. And Holy Mother said that, would you continue to love me when I am absent? This 8-year-old or 6-year-old girl said, yes, I would continue to love even when you are absent. Then Holy Mother said, how do you know? How would I know that you are loving me? Then the girl said, you tell me, how would you know? You tell me, how can I let you know that I still love you? Then Holy Mother said that if you love me, then try to love all. Try to love all people, all family members, whomsoever come. Then this little girl said, how can I love all? How can I love all equally? Then Holy Mother said that the secret is to not wanting anything from you, not asking anything in return. That is the secret of loving all. So all it boils down to, like not having a desire for reciprocal, getting something from it. And Holy Mother gave the reason that if you expect from someone, then what will happen is those who will fulfill your expectations more, you will love them more. And those who won't fulfill your expectations, you won't love them. So don't expect anything. But Holy Mother said in a much more simple languages, I don't remember the exact things. The girl surprisingly understood, the essence of her teachings, and it is reported that the girl changed, and her behavior with others changed. She stopped being a difficult child. Okay, so yes, PTG touched upon this thing, and what PTG said is a very good starting point philosophically, because when we say pure, what do we mean? Pure water. That means nothing has been added to it, right? It is existing in its pristine state as it is supposed to. Okay. And she also said child. So what happens to child? Why we call children as pure? That their mind is very transparent. They are not hiding. They are not having hidden agenda and all of it. So their mind is still, clutter has not happened or dart has not entered into their mind. So the mind is in its original state. Mind in its original state, that is purity. Is not it? You think about this, mind in its original state. But that is philosophically, and thank you so much for sharing so much. First of all, why purity of mind is emphasized in Vedanta? Okay. This can better be understood through the analogy of a lake. A lake. So, according to Upanishads and Vedanta, the reality is already within. It's like a light already there. We don't have to do anything. Only the light is not expressing itself because the water which is above the light is unsteady and murky. The unsteady mind, it has been spoken about. Amanaskaḥ. Okay. So the water is, like unsteady and moving and shaking all the time, which makes us difficult to see the bottom. And purity can be compared with the murky water, the dirt in that. So the more dirt we have, the light within cannot express itself fully. So what mental purity is really meaning is making a mind very transparent, a transparent mind, which reflects the reality more accurately, more accurately. In Vedanta, it is called Chitta Shuddhi or Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva is another name of mind. Sattva is another name of mind. Okay, Chitta Shuddhi or Sattva Shuddhi. So what happens is mind becomes steady and transparent, clear, so that the light that is within can reflect or can come out more, better way it can manifest the light that is already within, that can manifest. And even intellectually brilliant people may lack purity or not. If easily offended, highly intellectual person, if they get easily offended, if emotionally unstable, and they have always some hidden agenda. Without agenda, they cannot do anything. And chronically dissatisfied within. So even, or if these things are present, even a intellectually brilliant person, we would say that lack purity of mind. Lack purity of mind. So then what is purity? What is purity? I think purity has, like three components. One is impulsive reaction. Impulsive reaction. We have impulsive reaction. So we suddenly react. So at the bottom of impulsive reaction is what Vedanta, Yoga, all of they say is raga and desha. Raga means having extreme liking or extreme attraction for something, and desha is extreme aversion for something. Because of that, for example, if I strongly like praise, I like to be praised strongly, I will always try to distort reality to obtain it. Distort reality. If I am not praised, I will be thinking, the people are foolish here. They don't know how to praise. Okay. So it can happen. Those who always seek, praise and validation, they distort the reality that problems are with others. Problems with others, So, and also they can become impulsive about it. If I have, if I cannot, cannot stand criticism at all, then what will happen? I cannot hear the truth all the time. I cannot hear the truth because if I cannot stand anything, that is, I have strong aversion for hearing anything negative about me. Then what will happen is I won't hear the truth. I won't hear the truth. So that is one part, that impulse. That's why if you have studied Patanjali Yoga well, Patanjali says that the wheel of samsara has these 5 kleshas, that avidya, smita, raga, desha, and abhinivesha. Avidya is not recognizing our spiritual nature. Asmita is identifying ourselves as, with lower identities. Asmita. I am this, I am that, which is true to some extent, but which gives a very limited idea about who we are. And this is because of we don't know who we are we are missing out on what our true nature is, and rather extreme liking for something and extreme aversion for something. And avijñānavān is the desire to be all the time, So avijñānavān is the desire to be something all the time. Okay, avijñānavān is a difficult thing we are living in out. But the thing I was pointing is, Patanjali says that among all of these, the thing that we can work on is raga and desha. Raga, desha, if we can work on this extreme attachment and extreme aversion, then we can stop this cycle. From there, everything starts, not having too much aversion of something, not having strong dislike for something. So it is okay to have liking and disliking, but only when it becomes very strong, then only it becomes problematic. And also we see how we become bound, right? How we become bound if we constantly try to avoid things and only looking forward to only for a specific few things, then it is surely we are not free. Surely we are not free. And look at what Preeti said, that the freedom of mind or purity of mind is expressed in the freedom, the way we move, This freedom Upanishad is talking about. This freedom, to have a pure mind is to have freedom, not being, like too attached to something and too aversive of something. And all of us know how having too much of attachment and too much of aversion actually bound us down, right? Tie us down. We cannot be free. So that is one thing, impulsive reaction. So impurity shows up in impulsive reactions, And later on, we regret about it, our impulsive reaction. Then the second component of impurity will be a self-centered identity, being too self-centered. That is, I am the center of the universe. Everything should validate me. Everything should validate me, and my interest is more important. My needs are more important than yours. This is egocentric or a self-centered identity, right? That's why when we see people who are, always helping others, who are helpful to others, we say, right, such a pure person. There is such a pure person, purity. There is a purity in that person who puts the needs of others at par with their needs. We don't have to go that far that others' needs are more important than mine. But if we can treat others' needs at par with our needs, then it is a sign of purity. Okay, so second thing is self-centered identity. Everything revolving around me. I am the self-centric identity. And the third part is the psychological impressions. We have impressions, vasanas. Vasanas means all the emotional components of our experiences, which in the term of psychology, they are called unresolved emotional patterns. So how does it show up? Unresolved emotional patterns. So we get triggered, something happens and I get too angry. So the point is, it was not such a big deal, but I got angry because it triggered something in me. and it has relation to our all the emotional components, the painful components of our emotional life. Okay, so unresolved conflicts, and it also shows up as ego defense. Ego defense, how we try to defend ourselves. You know, how we at every moment we try to defend our ego. For example, you criticize me, I cannot listen to it. I cannot listen to it. I immediately come to my rescue. No. But then if you disagree with me, I immediately try to shut you down. No, because the points it is so away from my view of reality. All of these are triggers as they show us the pain points, the vasanas that we have. So I would say that, of course, this is exhaustive, but I would say that these three kind of cover every part of impurity. One is this, impulsive, which is because of having strong like and strong dislike. Secondly, a egocentric life, that I am the center of the universe and my needs are most important. I am the most important person. When I walk into a room, everybody should acknowledge me. All of these are self-centered activity. And finally, third is unresolved psychological issues, unresolved, And we have, all of us have issues. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. All of us have some unresolved psychological issues. Okay, so these, I would say, that give a good idea about impurity. What makes our mind impure? What robs the mind of its transparency? If you look at it, all of these actually distort reality. All of these distort the reality. Distort the reality. All of it. So what a pure mind looks like? A pure mind is not easily hijacked by impulses. They also have impulses. They also have emotions, but they are not whole being. Personality does not get hijacked by these impulses. Then they have a space between the stimulus and response. You say something unpleasant to me, I would take some time to respond. In other words, instead of reacting, pure mind should respond. So there should be some space between how to respond to it, not automatically reacting to it. Third, a pure mind can listen to others, even opposite views, radically opposite views, without trying to be defensive. Okay, without trying to be defensive. And a pure mind acts without agenda, without any hidden agenda. That is the point I'm making. It's a hidden agenda. I'm trying to show as if I am helping others, but there could be a hidden agenda. Let people know how helpful I am. These hidden agendas, we think we can hide, but they show up. They also show up, hidden agendas, right? We can just look around. And secondly, I would say that they have some degree of contentment, inwardly content, contentment. So a sattvic mind, to say all of these things in a beautiful Sanskrit word, we would say sattvic mind, a balanced mind, which does not get upset easily. Even if it gets upset, it comes back quickly to its normal state. Okay. And any questions so far? I see raised hands. It is by mistake or what?
So Maharaj, this Impressions is a very important point you brought up, because
Yeah.
it's not just from this life, but from previous lives too. So we have tons of impressions accumulated, right? That's what you're referring to, right? Impressions, samskaras.
Forget previous life. Even this life itself, we have enough. We have gathered enough clutter in this house also. Forget about your previous residence. Okay. But even in this life, we have collected lot of vasanas. These are called vasanas. Vasanas means vasana has another meaning called desire. But in yoga, vasana means the emotional components of every experiences, and especially the painful ones. Painful ones. These are called vasanas. So that's why the goal of yoga is to actually weaken the vasanas, weaken the vasanas, because according to yoga, these vasanas are like the fuel for the mind, for fuel for the mind to go for seeking enjoyment and being egoistic and all of it, because the impressions are there. They are now unconsciously, without our knowledge, actually driving us to different directions. Okay, got it? Okay, Vaidehi, you want to ask something?
Please. Oh, thank you. So, Swamiji, when we talk about children and how innocent they are, but don't we come into this world with some scars or vasanas, one or the other or both? And so how does that happen?
Say that again, ask the question again.
Okay.
For
So
children, you will say innocent and pure, then?
right. But isn't it true that we have some scars from previous lives
Yes.
or vasanas from previous lives? So how is it that they don't show up when you're an
Yeah.
innocent baby?
Yes. Who can answer that? Who can answer that? It is very nicely explained in Patanjali Yoga. Yes.
I don't know, but I've got two daughters, and from day one, I saw stuff in the kids. Clearly, I to this day I say, you guys have brought this with you from your last life, because there's not, I mean, these guys are newborn, they just came home, and I could see that they had some personality traits. But I do believe that it's the environment that could either enhance that or cultivate it. So if somebody's come with ability to sing, and it's like totally shocking to the parents, it's like, where'd you get that from? I can't sing. I mean, my neighbor's dog runs away when I sing. But so the environment, if it cultivated to suppress that, there won't be singers. But if the environment cultivates it, if a parent is attuned to it, I personally, as a mother, feel like at least in I can't speak for anybody else but myself. There is something that is there, which is definitely not.
Yes.
But I think it could be suppressed and lost if it's not cultivated.
Yes, absolutely. To answer by his question, yoga says that vasanas are there, but as soon as they get favorable environment for that particular vasana or subliminal impression, then there is a chance of it's getting out there. It's getting out there. For example, suppose we have eaten for the first time, say something, you ask about something, a wonderful ice cream. Okay, so the emotion the emotional part of that experience, it felt good, is there. Okay, so the impression is there. Next time, if I see an ice cream, that impression will goad me. Go get it. Because the memory, the vasana is inside. Vasana is not desire, but the emotional component that it felt good. It felt good at that time. Go ahead. Okay. Similarly, even children, they have not got, the appropriate uh, environment, playing ground yet. As they grow up, their vasanas get appropriate environment, appropriate stimulus to come up. Okay.
Okay, so they need exposure.
Exposure, yeah, absolutely, exposure. Nature, nurture. You may say vasanas are like nature, and which is there inbuilt, there inside, and nature. Nature is the environment, the stimulus around which brings out those particular vasanas.
Or
Right?
nature is what they bring with them and nurtures the
Nurture,
environment.
yes, nature versus nurture, right? Absolutely. So
Okay.
again, I would say that in the scriptures everywhere, in the spiritual literature, they actually refer to two dimensions of purity. One is ethical dimension of purity. Ethical means telling the truth, not trying to not harm others as much as possible. All the niyama, they are like, the ethical purity, and there is emotional purity. One is ethical purity, and another is emotional purity. Emotional purity is, reducing that raga and desha, too much of liking, too much of dislike. This you will see spiritual literature when they speak about chitta shuddhi, purification of mind, sattva shuddhi, purity of mind. They usually work in either of the two lanes, ethical purity as well as emotional purity, right? One may not have raga and desha, but go on speaking lies, telling lies. That cannot be said a pure mind, right? Pure, yeah. So, so how to test the purity of our own mind? A few questions like, when I am criticized, how quickly do I stabilize? If you criticize me, surely I will feel for a moment. I would not feel good, and I will feel like destabilized. But how quickly I can come back to my normal state? How quickly can I stabilize? When praised, how inflated I feel. The bigger I inflated I feel, the more raga, the more attachment for me is for praise. Then when my plans fail, how disturbed do I feel? My plans fail. How disturbed I am from that. That also shows, this shows, how much we feel about our ego, that I am in control of everything. My plan should not fall. The whole universe come together to materialize my plans. My plans have failed. So how can I take it? And another important thing, when I am alone, am I restless or am I at ease? No, this is also a test of purity of mind. When I am alone with nobody, am I naturally at ease or I am restless? I am anxious about things. These the questions we can ask ourselves. When I am criticized, how long does it take for me to get stabilized? If I get angry, we get angry, but how quickly I can come back to my natural state? When I am praised, how elated I am feeling. When my plans fail, how do I take it? How do I take it? And When I am alone, is there a sense of contentment, a stability, or I am anxious when I am alone? All of these questions, we don't have to tell others, but we can ask ourselves, reflect on us. That will show degree of purity. There is no purity meter. It cannot be quantified, but these questions are pretty good in giving us a sense of how we are doing. Nobody is absolutely impure. Nobody is absolutely pure. It's all about the spectrum where we fall. So the idea is to go ahead and progress from cluttering, the cleaning the clutter. Okay, how to clean the clutter. So I would share with you what have worked for me. Okay, I'm not going into literature, spiritual literature, all of them are, but I would just like to say that what has worked for me. Okay, one thing has worked for me is pause before reacting. Pause. Give a few seconds of pause when somebody is, especially if something unpleasant is happening and somebody is saying something which is outrageous, and can I take a pause? Can I take a pause? What happens is it reduces raga and desha. Aversion. Immediately I was trying to express my aversion. I'm just taking some time, a response time, and we'll see what happens is raga and desha loosens. Like food is served. Immediately, if I start, grabbing the food, it means a particular food. Can I take a pause, a few seconds of pause before approaching the food? And this is the reason why we chant Brahmarpanami, Brahmapi. The idea is behind this, that food is served, all the delicious items are before you. Can you wait a few seconds? The idea is this, and you won't believe, in our monasteries, we chant the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The 15th chapter, everything has been served, all delicious items are before you. Now you chant 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So the idea is, take a pause. You don't have to. So idea is, this is the way you take a time, take a pause before jumping into something or reacting to something. So how long the pause should be, we have to decide for ourselves. Okay, I cannot aim to pause for 1 minute. If you say something, it all depends upon how quickly I am responding now, how I can delay my reaction, and magically it gradually loosens the raga and desha. Second, if you remember, the first problem was raga and desha. The way I say, 3 dimensions of purity. One is impulsive reaction. At the core of that is raga and desha. How can you get rid of raga and desha? Taking some time, delay responding from the stimulus, not immediately. Second problem was what? Self-centeredness. I should be recognized by, I should be praised. I have to be something. So how can we loosen this one? One thing is serve without advertisement. Serve, do good things. Can we do good things? Some of the good things without telling anybody, without posting about it, without telling other body. This is why Jesus said, let your left hand not know that your right hand has given. So you have helped someone, you have given money to charity, or you have done something kind to others, but can it remain anonymous? that loosens, the power or the instinct to be at the center of everything, center of stage. Okay. So good things we do, spiritual practices we do, things which are laudable we do, can we keep within ourselves without telling others? That practice, I think, has helped me in not being at the center of everything. And sometimes give credit to others. You have done something good, but someone is telling that, look, they have done it. They have done it. Yeah, give credit to others. Give credit to others. I don't have to involve everywhere. Even if I have done it, that is the thing. Can we do that? That's a good practice of loosening the grip of the ego. Third practice is, the third problem was, what was the third problem? Vasana.
Unresolved
Like-
emotional patterns.
Yes,
Yes,
emotional
psychological
baggage,
emotion.
impulses. Yes, thanks. Yeah. So how to do that? Sit without performing. Sit. Can we sit every day for some minutes without trying to do anything? Without trying to analyze our mind, without planning, without, looking for anything. Just be, just watch our mind and all the breathings that are coming and name it. This is ego. This is future plan. This is anxiety. We don't have to attach to all these impulses that are coming, impressions that are coming. We can simply watch them and name them. I do it all the time. In meditation, do I go to meditative state immediately? No. Plan for tomorrow and how am I performing in this meditation? All of these thoughts come. Then I have a very bad tendency, vasana, that anything good happens, I think I will share with others. So as it is happening, I am thinking, how can I share with others? This is a big trouble for me, So what I do now is, whenever these things happen, I say, the planner, the planner. Then when the impulse to share with others, the teacher, but the teacher is now active. I don't blame myself, I don't criticize myself, but I just name the teacher, thinking about tomorrow, the planner. Okay, then try to analysis intellectually what is happening, the intellectual. Name it. We don't have to criticize us, because these are vasanas, that is, they have accumulated over many years and experiences. The only way to let go of their hold on us is to witness them. So what happens is, usually whatever vritti is happening, and every vritti has some emotional quality in them, we are immediately, automatically identifying with them. A thought came, I am meditating now, and a thought come tomorrow. So immediately I chase that thought. Tomorrow, what I'll be doing in the morning, in the afternoon. And so what is happening is, I'm chasing that. Automatically, a vritti is coming, a thought is coming, and without questioning, chasing that thought, identifying with that thought. So in meditation, what we can do, we are not trying to suppress or demolish our vasanas. These thoughts will come, and whatever there will be coming, we are teaching our mind to not automatically identify with them. Just make a distance from them, see them, name them. So if all of this happen, the Upanishad says that those who don't have that pure mind, they come back to samsara again and again. Here, samsara does not mean taking rebirth. We can interpret samsara as doing the same mistakes again and again. We're running through the same psychological patterns again and again. If we are not mindful, we will see mostly we are in automation. Some of the patterns which are very strongly set within, they keep on repeating. So we will be doing the same mistake, same useless thoughts, same anxiety, same planning, same intellectualizing, all of these again and again. This repetition of unwholesome ideas, unwholesome pattern of thoughts again and again can be compared to samsara. And in the opposite of this, one who has an alert mind, one who has a steady mind, one who has gone beyond the impulsive mind, they go to the highest. That is, they become free from this repeating the same cycles again and again, again and again, right? We can interpret it in this way. Instead of thinking about, samsara means this world and the highest. The Upanishad said, those who have this purity of mind, they reach the highest state. The highest state means what? Freedom. Freedom from all of this clutter. Freedom from all of this clutter is the highest. It is not going somewhere or achieving, something big. It's not having halo around myself when I walk, or ability to levitate, or ability to radiate spirituality around it. It is all about making the mind transparent. Transparent mind. So if mind is transparent, which is hiding the light, we'll see that more we can make our mind pure, the divinity which is already within. This is the beauty of Vedanta. The Vedanta does not say that divinity we have to import or we have to reach. Vedanta says that it is already within. All we have to do is to declutter our house. And suddenly we'll see so much of space was already there. So much of space. We did not have to add any other container storage to keep my stuff. There was already so much of space. It was just clutter. Okay, so this is the whole idea of, I think, about purity and why so much of emphasis is given on purity. And purity here, again, look at it, it is not something superiority. It's a morally I am superior, I am more pure than you. No, what it means is that how much I am returning to my true nature, how much I am, cluttering the space. It is not in being morally superior, moral grandstanding, not like that. Okay, so it is all about cleaning up the clutter. Okay. So I think this is important, and let's reflect on it. So far, these are my ideas on purity of mind. Purity of mind is important in the sense that if mind becomes pure, then the inner light shines through. And we don't have to be absolutely pure like Sri Ramakrishna or Holy Mother. The more, transparent we become, actually, the more we can enjoy the life. The more free we become, and we become a blessings, an instrument of good to others. Secondly, purity has 3 dimensions. I'm repeating, okay, because we discussed it a lot. Purity has 3 dimensions. One is impulse. Second is self-centeredness. Third is these unresolved emotional issues. Okay, and how we can control them. For raga and desha, for impulses, we can try to delay the response of favorable and unfavorable thing. For self-centeredness, karma yoga, that is, serve others, do good to others, but without advertising? Can we do that? And third is, can we watch our mind without getting attached to the thoughts that are arising, without identifying with all the thoughts, without chasing the thoughts? Can we identify all of them, name them? We'll see these practices loosens the three things that keeps our mind murky. It becomes a transparent mind. And so worth doing, whether in spiritual life or even in normal life. The more we do all of these, the more benefits we get. Forget about spirituality and shining the light of Atman. The kind of freedom, we feel, the more our mind becomes pure. We are the best benefit. We are the best beneficiary of our own purity. Okay. I hope you have some questions. Let me see. Yes, comments.
First, may I say, Swami, that is a wonderful list of remedies. I'm very grateful to you for that.
Thank you.
And all night I've been thinking, I'm sure you may have seen that sutta from Buddha about the bowls of water. I've been thinking about this all night. So he says the first bowl of water that represents anger is, you think of a bowl of water just boiling and boiling and boiling out of control. And the next bowl for lust, and I can't remember exactly, but it's still a stirred up water. And then you get to anxiety and worry, the psychological, and that's like a little winds constantly riffling the surface of the mind. And then the pure mind is the calm, clear.
Yes.
So what I want help with is he talks about the stagnant water with the algae growing. That's the to us, it would be the tamasic. He doesn't use Thomas. So to me, I think that's when people get depressed or they get maybe bogged down in their kalacious. I went the wrong. That's Buddhism.
Yeah.
I go back and forth. But getting bogged down in the vasanas and the world, I think that when people are down in their bowl of water, their mind is, stagnant and algae overgrown. They can't see their way out.
Yes.
To me, that is a dangerous state of mind and a difficult one. And I think even people who are dedicated practitioners fall into that. And I just wondered if you had any ideas or helps for the
stagnation to get out.
I call it the tamasic bowl of water.
Yes, stagnation happens in spiritual life, And what helps most in stagnant state is the guidance from another advanced practitioner. They lift us from the stagnation. We get stuck. I call it the spiritual plateau. We feel like we are just there. We're not progressing. And so at that time, the most important thing is the help from another advanced spiritual practitioner.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Because you can just not know how to get out of it. Or I think when people are in that most depressed is when they least want to talk to anyone. That's a difficult situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. But actually, I have found in my life, whenever I have found stagnation and all of it, usually talking to someone who is in the same path and probably more experienced than that. And they say something, lifted, and the stagnation lifted, like we need optimism, optimism and hope that others can give, which lifts us from stagnation, That is what I think has helped for me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Subhash, you want to ask something?
More than ask, I just want to share the idea about the gunas. You briefly mentioned on it, sattvic, and at least I am more tamasic and rajasic than sattvic, and idea is to increase sattva more and more.
Yeah.
So and that clarifies the mind. And Bhagavad Gita, has a whole chapter dedicated to this gunas.
Yes.
Actually 2 or 3 chapters they talk about gunas.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at it, all the spiritual practices mentioned everywhere, whether Yoga Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Bible, or any spiritual literature, all are meant for this purpose. The purity of mind. How to clean the mind. Yeah. So
Thank
today
you.
I did not want to walk much into the technical, the guna things or yama things. I wanted to give a very plain things which I understand and everybody understands. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Swami,
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you for your transparency regarding, the difficulties that you face with meditation, because I think that that we all can feel sort of a little deficient sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes like shame is a real big issue in all of our lives. And so when we are transparent about, not all the time, but occasionally transparent about, this or that I struggle with, and we laugh about it, it gives other people the freedom to feel like I don't have to be perfect in my practice. I don't have to appear perfect in my practice. I'm just a struggling, spiritual seeker that's kind of walking along with everybody else. So I really do appreciate it. And sometimes I think when when we hide that, sometimes we can feel a little fraudulent. Like when we hide all of our faults, we can feel sort of like a fraud. And so one of the ways to fix that is exposure about it. Like I do struggle with this or that aspect. And it just makes everybody feel so much more relieved, I think, about their own abilities, and that they're just like everybody else. It's a much more compassionate approach. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And moreover, when we don't try to, what happens, a lot of tension builds up. Tension builds up within, like I know that I am not of that standard, but also I'm thinking that no, I'm not doing good enough meditation, so the tension builds up, so the more we try to hide reality, deny reality, the thing is, the more tension we take, stress, if you look at neurosis, neurosis, or what we call, neurotic personality. Neurosis has only one fundamental cause: trying to deny reality. If you look at all the neuroses, it boils down to one thing: try to deny the reality. Here, reality means what I am truly right now, and I am trying to deny that. No, you are not. You are not that. You have to be that. You have to be that. That is the source of all neurosis, when we try to deny external or internal reality. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your perspective. Arundhati, you want to ask something, or you want to add something?
I agree with Victoria that you are so transparent about your own struggles.
Not so much, though.
Which
I have other problems too, which I am not sharing.
No, which brings on the importance of self-reflection on knowing where you stand,
Yes.
assessing your own practices, or what should I call the results so far. So that is extremely important to know where you stand, and this helps with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, after joining, I asked one Swami. I was so enthusiastic, after just becoming monk, and so I was looking for more and more sadhanas to do, what to do. So every monk I used to meet, I used to ask, what do you think most important sadhana? And you will be surprised, one very senior monk told me, the most important sadhana is to know where you belong. That is, in the whole spectrum of spiritual seekers, where I belong. Accept that fact. Until you accept that fact, there will be no real progress. At that time, I, kind of thought, probably he's just, probably saying something. I thought he is not that advanced. But later on, I understood that what a great kernel of wisdom is in that statement. He just said one practice, you need to know where you belong, Yeah. So the thing is, this is causes internal strain. I have not achieved some level of, in the yoga says, bhumi. What is the term they say? Bhumi jayatam. Bhumi means having a levels. In yoga, they say bhumis, that a seeker attains levels. Not only attains levels, but they get stabilized into higher and higher levels. Bhumi jal. Okay. So that is only possible, only. All right. So we shall continue. Okay. Next verses are also important. Give some more idea about the highest state, that is the freedom. The freedom, what it is like, and we'll see interesting things about it. All right. All of you have a wonderful weekend. See you next Friday. Let's say Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om peace, 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 peace going to all.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you,
Pranam,
Maharaj.
thank you so much. Have a great week.
Thank you, Swami.
Great
That was a
weekend.
wonderful discussion.
Thank you very much.